Thank you, Ann. A guilty plea to a lesser charge from the Ottawa County Sheriff's deputy who shot an unarmed college student during a drug raid. The judge examining whether raids like this one in the case should take place at night. 24-Hour News 8's Tony Tagliavia was in court for the plea today. He's live in Holland now.
Good evening, Brian. You will hear from the judge in his own words in just a moment. As many people remember, this all traces back to a March drug raid at an off-campus apartment near Grand Valley State University. It ended with a student shot. Investigators concluded that student, Derek Kopp, was shot when he raised his hands to shield his eyes from a flashlight.
And I think there at least needs to be some cause to consider the advisability of nighttime raids of a residence under the circumstances that were presented in this case.
Those words from District Judge Bradley Knoll today, accepting a plea from Deputy Ryan Huizenga and sentencing the deputy to 6 months probation. He'll have to pay $400 and perform 80 hours of community service. The judge called the deputy an outstanding member of the community. Huizenga could have faced 90 days in jail. The charges came after state police investigators concluded Huizenga should not have had his finger on the trigger of his gun because investigators concluded there was no threat. The deputy's plea is to a lesser charge, a misdemeanor instead of a high misdemeanor. It means he could keep his job. A high misdemeanor would have prevented him from returning. The undersheriff says there will be a hearing soon and a decision hopefully within 10 days. Huizenga's attorney says his client feels he is qualified to go back to work.
Without question. This was an isolated incident, as I told the court. He served the county and the citizens of the county faithfully for over a decade, and there's no reason why he can't continue to do that.
So why did prosecutors offer a deal?
We looked into Deputy Huizenga's background, and as far as we know, he had no negative complaints or problems whatsoever.
That and what prosecutor Stuart Fenton called tremendous community support in and outside of law enforcement, and agreement on the deal from Derek Kopp, the student who was shot. Kopp told 24-Hour News 8's Emily Zangaro today that he indeed thinks the deal is fair, and he says he hopes for the best for both Huizenga and himself. Kopp pleaded guilty to felony drug charges against him late last week. He is expected to be sentenced in August. He told us again today that he hopes to be sentenced under the Holmes Youthful Trainee Act. It means that someone, a younger person who has nothing prior on his or her record, could be sentenced with no conviction to avoid a criminal record. Live at District Court in Holland, Tony Tagliavia, 24-Hour News 8.